though, right?
No. Well, maybe a year ago we did.
Right, a year ago, October.
Yes.
Because he asked us for some money up front. My question was on this here is typically, I know it's a commercial business. Typically, how many pump outs do we do for a commercial business? And I know we're pumping this one out way more than we usually do, I think, than a commercial business, and we're paying for it. I think with their delinquency of not showing us grease trap maintenance and stuff like this, I think our ratepayers are paying for this unduly. You know what I'm trying to say?
It needs to become part of our ordinance and resolutions, a grease trap pumping policy.
Correct. I think
I gotta add that to my thing here.
I think residents, you're looking at what, every 7 years, Bob?
If it's a full-time residence, you like to do it about every 5 years. If it's
5 years,
they're just seasonal, it can go longer.
So, maybe a pump out every 2 years on a commercial business like that.
Yeah, again, if they're doing their grease traps, maybe we should be able to go longer. They're convinced that their problems they're having in their backup and their internal plumbing is ours, which it's not. And the way we can, that's why we need the grease trap pumping cleaning to prove it.
We do the captain's wheel at least once a year, if not multiple times a year. And when they have a problem because they haven't pumped their grease traps, then we pump them multiple times. And how many times did we pump them this fiscal year, Bob?
I can go look and I can tell you.
I think it's like 3 times.
Yeah, I think we looked at that when we did the budget, and it was like $1,900 a pop, Jesse. Is that right?
Yeah, it's no joke. Plus those problems, plus captain's wheel flushes all kinds of things down their septic system that they shouldn't be doing. So it's quite costly for us.
So again, I think we're putting a due stress on our ratepayers because of the business.
Right.
Yeah, we need some type of policy put in place that says, yes, we maintain the septic tank and its integrity and we pay for pumping, but we don't pay for grease trap pumping, and they need to be regular with it, and they need to submit when they do it. There needs to be a timetable to it, and if they don't comply with their regular grease trap pumping, then we need to have the ability to turn off their water, because unfortunately sometimes people only respond to loss of business and threats, and that is absolutely not the avenue that I want to take with anyone. But I mean, our ratepayers are paying for this. It's a big problem. If they don't do it and the grease starts backing up into our system, like we're totally compromising the integrity of our system just because other people want to save a buck.
Right. So do we have to make an ordinance to do this?
I think we have to include it in our ordinances. And I'll make sure that that's something I try to get included in this short-term thing we're doing with Field, because that's one of the authority issues that we're dealing with. Yeah.
Again, I just think it's unfair for our ratepayers to be paying for this business because they want to try to save a dime by not doing grease.
Yeah, you're right, Cal.
So here you go, Calvin. This is
what they want Colleen to include in that ordinance.
Okay.
Here's what Captain's Wheel has done in the last year. We pumped it on October 24th last year, May 15th this year, and August of this year. So 3 times.
Right.
And we're each of those.
How much is it each time?
Let me bear with me a second here. Back in August, $780.
Okay.
Do we go back to May? Let's see here. $1,400. There must have been some more work done. There was a biotube we had to replace. And then last October, this where they specifically noted on here the grease trap needs to be clean, $820.
Yeah.
3,000 even.
Right, and then last year, didn't we even pay for some plumbing work done inside the business?
I'm just looking over the invoices I've received from B&B. I don't know, Jesse, did they send us any separate invoices that we paid that I don't have for a plumber?
I don't think so.
Jesse, they sent them to us and you brought them before the board and we refused to pay them because it was invoices that we had no obligation to pay.
I remember
that distinctly. Yeah.
So yeah, we didn't end up paying. Yeah, the board said no. I remember that.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we did do some. I know we turned down the 10,000 loss of revenue where we had.
Business. Yeah.
But I think there was a time we did back either last October or May. We paid. I think we paid for some plumbing within inside the building too.
I'll research that.
Just had a question, would the grease trap pumping be like a new fee?
But some that they should be doing on a regular maintenance. They have a company comes out and does it that they should be paying for, and they're just not doing it.
So why aren't we doing it and billing them?
Because it's beyond our tank. We're responsible from the tank to the street, and that's inside their own facilities, and they're responsible for doing it. Now, they claim they've done it, and they claim we have the receipts, but we've never seen anything.
Unless we update our ordinance that says that's up to the board. If you guys wanted to update our ordinance and say, okay, and we also will take over grease trap pumping for our customers and keep them on a schedule, but that will be applied to their bill, and if the bill is not paid, water can be terminated.
Yeah.
That's up to the board, though.
And if we do that, I think that would be sort of an additional fee that we'd be charging, and you'd have to go through the whole
Public hearing.
fee increase, public notice, public hearing, all that.
Yeah.
Well, when we had a restaurant in the mall, and it was one of those cases where if we neglected it, it did affect the whole mall, and we had a regular service come in, and I believe it was every 30 days. I believe it was 30 days. It might have been 60, but that was the agreement that we had with the mall, and it makes sense.
Right. I think a business like that, every 3 years, one pump out. Anything additional over one pump out for 3 years, we should charge them for it.
And somehow, I don't know how we would enforce the grease trap pumping on their side.
Unless I think it was Allie just said that we took over that cost and then applied it to their bill. I think that's a great idea.
I think if we just start hitting them for the pump outs, then they're going to start doing the grease trap clean outs.
In addition to that, not just specifying them, but I think we've got even some residential customers out there that abuse our system. They flush wipes down and things like that cause us to pump more frequently than we should. And I wonder if we should make that applicable not just to commercial but residential.
Absolutely.
Right. Anything, residential, like you say, anything over 5 years, more pumps than every 5 years, and they'll have to pay for the additional pump.
We've got a couple of them that are like every 2 or 3 years, and it's too much. It's because they're putting things down they shouldn't.
Correct.
Jesse, are you aware of any of your other clients that have a special policy for this? Are you aware of any out there?
Me?
I wouldn't say a special policy. We do have a couple of frequent flyer, is what I like to call some of my customers on situations, but some that just, like Bob said, they flush some of the craziest things, and we have to go in and replace pumps and pump once a year, and there's backup, and one of them is by the lake, so it's like it requires urgency on our part, and it's all the time.
What do you do?
But
We immediately call for a pump, especially since it affects their neighbors. It could affect the lake. So
do you charge them?
No, we pay for it.
Oh.
But you are not aware of anybody that has a policy that addresses this. That was my
Oh, any other district? No, I'm not, because we're actually very unique in that I don't know any other systems. Hayden Lake used to do it, but they don't anymore, and I don't know any other systems that pay for pumping.
Okay, well, Field, I guess we'll have to kind of come up with something.
Yeah, so, come up with something for residential. Like say, you have to just pump over 5 years, and then as far as businesses, over 2 or 3.
We'll probably continue a little bit of this discussion in action item number 7. So if you
Okay, all right, we'll move on then.
Okay, so we'll move on then. Action item number 7, contacting Department of Environment Quality for changing the sewer. What does it say? Permit, yeah.
Can I can give an overview on what we're doing here, if I might. And that is because there are very few systems out there that accept responsibility for maintaining sewer beyond the property line. Bayview is one of them, where we're responsible for approving the tanks and the pumps that go in and maintaining them once we accept that everything has been installed properly. The issue with that is it's just simply not a sustainable business model under our current rates. I did talk to Bob Hansen about this, and I think it's Dover that does this. But one of the key differences there is they actually did go off of it and set it to the responsibility of the homeowners, and that didn't, apparently, for whatever reason, didn't work. So they took it back. But the difference is that they're responsible for it, but they also bill the homeowners for it, and that's what we don't do. We accept it as a part of our rates. So that's going to be a key difference there, is that if we go off of, there's got to be a way to enforce or inspect or something to make sure that people actually get things pumped when they should. Other than that, the only way we do it, if we maintain that responsibility, we need to have a mechanism for being able to bill them for those services so they're motivated not to flush the wrong things down. Bayview will come pump it.
Okay, so Bob, if I understand the issue, our permit makes us responsible for the pumping and maintenance, but it doesn't prohibit us from passing on the expense. Is that correct?
Correct. As far as I understand it, that's correct.
So it's something else we need to look at the resolution ordinances with then, you could say.
Yep.
So are you going to do that, Colleen, or should Calvin, or?
I'll go ahead and do it since it's part of what I'm working on with Field. We may very well, because of the time constraint here that he has, have to kind of make this a separate project, but we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
All right, so we're just going to go on to action item number 8.
Yep.
Okay, letter regarding leak detection and winter care to go out to with
month end October statements?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just, I took that on there as a follow-up with a conversation Bob and I had earlier, that come this time of year, we needed to advise people that we're not reading meters and they need to kind of figure out how to pay attention if they have a leak.
Yeah, that would be great. Jesse, have we sent a letter like that out before?
Yeah, with our old billing software, I regularly would flip the bill over the little postcards and I would write notes. Sometimes I'd change them up. I'd give septic care advice, tell people that they need to make sure that their meters and their lids are located during winter so that they avoid the cost of us having to locate them.
So is that something you can add to the bill?
I'm sure it could be. It's not something I've done with the new billing software, but it will definitely be something I will strike up an email with them and ask how to do that. So definitely.
And Bob, will you give her some information about, strictly on the leak thing, what you would suggest they do?
Sure.
Don't we have it on our website?
We do. It's under our frequently asked questions page.
Yeah, I think you just have to. To copy that and put it on the bill.
I don't know, honestly, if we have actually anything even written in our resolutions or ordinance that says that we need to pay 50%. It's just something that the district has always done and always followed. It's been on our website. So Colleen, that would be another resolution ordinance thing, is that 50% forgiveness. If the board wants to keep following that policy. If we do, we should probably put it in writing so that when we're all gone, that the district knows that that's what they do, you know.
I don't know, we're better off just doing it case by case basis, don't you?
It's up to the board.
Yeah.
Well, the way that goes is, if they do the repair and they show the repair, then that's when we give the 50% reduction. But so if a person doesn't show a repair or puts it off, then we of course we don't do a
Correct. And that's only with the spring reading. That's not throughout the year, because that's the whole purpose of the monthly bill, is the customer is notified or made aware of a leak for their high usage. You know, we monitor it. So it's only a springtime thing.
We might want to do a resolution or ordinance on that.
So you want me to include that?
You know, she's kind of right. I mean, when we're gone, we kind of want to leave something. I mean, it's like you say, it's a case for case thing, but at least with very, as a springtime thing, this is pretty cut and dry.
Okay.
You know what we don't have on the agenda is the action item list.
It's not there, so we can't.
It was on old.
I thought we were going to include that every meeting.
No, it was.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. We could do it under announcements, because technically it's not necessarily like a board action item thing. It's like a reviewing previous actions. So we can do it under announcements.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right. So, anyways, we'll head on to number 9 then.
Yeah.
Action item: approval of preliminary budget. So we were holding out for what? Only one thing, wasn't it? We were holding out for the budget.
Yes, and that was the cost of sewer engineering. So hold on, give me one moment here.
Now, Jesse, I pulled that up. Show me what you have, because what you sent out didn't have the same figures that you and I went over yesterday in the office.
No, that's because what you and I went over in the office wasn't board approved. It was just your thing. So we decided that we were going to talk about what you had discussed in the next meeting, so that it was all the board making the changes.
Because what I got from you, we had $4,000 in engineering for the sewer, but then Bob said 15. So we need to change that to 15.
Okay, that is what got published with the newspaper.
I thought we were going to wait.
I don't, we're kind of back and forth. I'm getting a lot of different direction. I don't know if you guys want me to, Bob Hansen says 2,500 for engineering. We put in 4,000. Some people want 15,000. I don't know.
Oh, where did we? Okay, I'm sorry. I was just looking at what you sent out, and there was an email in there that said 15,000. So I guess I'm
15,000 for the cost of the contact chamber.
So we already have provided for that.
Yes.
So okay. All right. Look at that. So just do what Bob said then.
Okay. The 2,500 is what he thought for engineering of the sewer system.
Okay. All right. And then the other changes that we had made, and this did not change the amounts at all. It was just for Bob to be able to manage his sewer maintenance account. We took out the $6,080 for Envision, and we put that under contract labor.
Correct.
Innovate?
Yes, but that was a discussion between you and I. That was not ever approved at a board. So that needs to be approved by the board. The problem is, though, that in order to make publication on the 16th, I had to send what you guys had approved at a board meeting, which did not include the changes that we talked about, because that was just between you and I, and so I didn't want to do anything that the board had not decided on.
Okay, so where does that put us? Even though we published this, if we're to change it, we have to republish it. I don't know how that works.
So how that works is basically what we all did. We did the workshop. We came up with the preliminary budget, and that's what we posted to our newspaper. So that'll run tomorrow in the paper, and then again on the 23rd, I believe. Then we are completely free and open to change all of that at the public hearing, and then we set the budget. So even
all right,
come to the public hearing, even though we posted something in the newspaper, that's our preliminary budget. That's just our jumping start off point, completely changeable. And then we go to the public hearing. You guys come with more ideas and thoughts. The public has time to weigh in, and then we finalize it. And that will become our final.
So we don't really need to make any of these changes right now, or do you